So a lot's going on in the Championship at the moment, and in the build up to the new season we've had a bunch more rumours come out in the past week or so, which we'll be discussing in today's video. We've also had a lot of complete deals go through in the past few days, which we will be discussing in today's video. But before we get into any of that, we need to have a discussion about Huddersfield Town. Realistically, they did have everyone on strings with the kit they released the other day. I did say in my kit ranking video that I did have an inkling that this may be sort of a publicity stunt, but since then they've gone ahead and released their actual kit for the upcoming season, and I must say, it's looking quite nice. They've joined Sheffield Wednesday and not having a sponsor for the upcoming season on their shirt, and overall that's looking really fresh in my view. But now we'll get into some of the completed deals which have gone through in the past few days. So my team Preston completed the signing of David Nugent on a free transfer. Making his return to the club, it's given everyone a bit of a buzz around the place really in what has been quite a quiet transfer window for Preston so far. We've only signed 2 players. I don't think that people have deluded themselves into the fact that, you know, David Nugent, he is 34 years old now. He only scored 2 goals last season, but I think he'll offer quite a bit around the squad. You know, we do have the average age of our squad is one of the youngest in the Championship, something we've been lacking in recent years when we've been trying to have that final push towards the playoffs has been experienced. I think he'll bring quite a bit into this squad really, and if he chips in with the odd goal here or there, I only think that'll be an advantage for it. And Johnny Williams has re-signed for Charlton Athletic after he spent the second half of last season there. A massive signing for Charlton. I thought he was really good in League One in that promotion season. I think most people would agree that they would have struggled to replace his quality with someone on their budget, so to get Williams back for this season I think is a massive deal for them. Seri from Fulham has completed a loan move to Galatasaray for this season after signing for £30 million in the summer. I think this one was probably on the cards. A few people couldn't really see him making the drop down to the Championship, and it was more than likely that he would be making the move somewhere, so Seri will be off for this season. Hull City have been fairly busy in the past few days. They completed the signing of free agent Ryan Tafazoli. The former Peterborough United defender comes in, and quite a few Championship clubs were chasing him actually. We've spoken about him quite a bit on the channel so far. And they've also brought in Josh Bowler from Everton on a season-long loan to add another wide option to their squad. And Reading completed the signing of free agent Michael Morrison, formerly of Birmingham. I think that's a really good sign to bolster their backline. Dan Crowley's completed his move to Birmingham. This one's got a lot of people excited. They're a really good technical midfielder. Only 21 years old. He started his career out at Arsenal, had a few loan moves out. And considering he is only 21, he's actually played quite a bit of football so far. He's made over 100 appearances in his career so far, scoring 17 goals in the process, and adds, you know, that much needed creativity into that Birmingham midfield. So that one I think could turn out to be a good deal. I think the move being around about 700k. Barnsley have signed Coventry striker Connor Chaplin on a 4-year deal. The 22-year-old comes over with quite a bit of potential. He's been linked with a Championship move for quite a while now, ever since his days back at Portsmouth in League 2. It's obvious to say that he's not the finished article yet, but if you do place to his strengths in the right system, I think you could have a decent player in there. West Brom completed the signing of Cardiff striker Kenneth ZOHORE. Now this one is a very interesting one. He's had a quite inconsistent past couple of seasons. You know, he's only scored a handful of goals for Cardiff in his past 2 seasons, but you get the impression with a striker like ZOHORE that if you do unlock his potential, you know, on his day he can be an absolute quality striker in the Championship. He's signed for a fee of around about £8 million, so it's not a cheap deal. West Brom are obviously in need of someone with that goal scoring touch after losing Galen Rodriguez for that season, and ZOHORE is a striker who has the potential to score 20+ goals in my view. If you play to his strengths and the player's motivated and really up for it, then I don't see all too much wrong with this deal. Another departure from Cardiff City has been defender Bruno Manga. I'm sure that all the City fans are sad to see him go. He's going to leave quite a gap in the side there. However, to replace him, they have brought in FLINT from Middlesbrough. The fee believed to be around about £6 million. Now this one could be a decent bit of business from Cardiff. In a Neil Warnock system, I think that going forward, FLINT, the 6'6" defender, could cause absolute chaos. He had a great goal scoring record while he was at Bristol City. I think he scored 16 goals from centre-back in their promotion season. When you've got Will Vokes with long throws, a lot of set pieces going into the box, I think that that could turn out to be a decent bit of business from them. Everton left-back Anthony Robinson completed his move to Wigan after spending last season out on loan there. The deal costing around about £2 million, and Wigan lately have really been splashing around the cash with some of the players they're being linked to. They're not messing around at the moment. Ben AMOS has returned to Charlton Athletic on a 1-year deal after spending the 17-18 season out on loan at the Valley. Stoke completed the signing of Huddersfield right-back Tommy Smith. I think that's a decent deal for Stoke. Polish goalkeeper Kamil Grabara has completed a loan move to Huddersfield Town, moving from Liverpool. And then finally, we've seen Luton Town break their transfer record on Croatian goalkeeper Simon Sluga. The fee being talked about is around about €1.5 million, and it is looking now like Luton are looking to reinvest the money they've already brought in through sales this summer. But there were some of the completed deals which have gone through in the past few days. Now, without any further ado, let's hop into some transfer rumours. So starting things out with Jordan Hugill, he appears to be in very high demand at the moment. Earlier on in the week, we were seeing Wigan Athletic being heavily linked with the West Ham striker. However, a £3 million deal has reportedly fallen through. The difficult thing with Hugill at the moment is he is on very high wages at West Ham. He's believed to be on, I think, about 35k a week in the Premier League at West Ham, so sorting out a deal and dropping down to Championship wages was always going to be a bit of a difficulty for this deal. Since the Wigan move has fallen through though, there has been some other clubs coming in for him. QPR and Bristol City are now said to be both interested. It's important to know what sort of player Jordan Hugill is. He's not sort of a natural Championship goal scorer. He's not the sort of player who's going to bag you 20 goals a season, but he's a very effective target man, very good at pressing from the front and bringing others into play. I think that if you've got a good set of wingers on either side and you've got goals from midfield, Hugill can get the best out of those sort of players. And Bristol City also appear to be interested in Sheffield Wednesday striker Lucas JOAO, with the striker reportedly unhappy at Sheffield Wednesday at the moment. There were reports coming out a few days ago suggesting that the striker has handed in a transfer request at Sheffield Wednesday. Wednesday was said to value him at £8 million, which I think is a little bit over the top really. But with Wednesday having quite a few strikers at the club over the past few years, JOAO's had to play sort of a bit part here and there. And although his strike rate isn't the best for goals in the Championship, I think there's a real player in there. I think he's got a lot of qualities to his game that if he was getting a regular run in the side, with the right players around him, I do think he could be a very effective player. I can see why there is interest there from Bristol City. I think Huddersfield were another club who I saw mentioned in the conversation. It's just that at £8 million, I wouldn't go that far. West Brom have agreed a fee with Rotherham for defender Semi Ajayi, a really versatile player. Spent the second half of last season playing in midfield, actually did very well for Rotherham in that time, and the fee only believed to be around £1.5 million. I think that West Brom, again, an absolutely brilliant deal there. He's only 25 years old. I think he was one of the standout players in Rotherham's season last time. He scored 8 goals in all competitions last time for Rotherham, and I think that's quite a shrewd signing from West Brom. I think they've done some good business there. Bristol City winger Callum O'Dowda could be on his way to Fulham this window. The Irish winger picked up 4 goals and got 4 assists for City last season. A bit of a weird player, a little bit inconsistent. He does have flashes of brilliance, and I like to think that Bristol City are a better side when he's in the team, especially, you know, when he's at the top of his game. I don't think his career is quite taken off the way I thought it would when he first made that move to Bristol City, but even so, I do think there's a decent player in there. And over the past few days, we've seen Leeds being heavily linked with a move for Aston Villa defender James Chester. The fee being talked about £7.5 million. I don't know, he's a good defender, but I can't see Leeds potting with £7.5 million for a player like Chester. Don't get me wrong, I think he's a fantastic player, but I'm not sure how much of a fit he'd be into Leeds United. I think a lot of people would agree that Leeds have probably missed a trick in not going in for Semi Ajayi from Rotherham. MATHEUS Pereira, the Brazilian winger, would be an ambitious move for West Brom. They're currently being linked with him. The winger had a decent loan spell out of the Bundesliga last season, and Slaven Bilic continues to look to develop this squad. Another wide option would be welcome into this West Brom squad, with them looking a little bit light in that area at the moment. It will be a very ambitious move though. He's a very highly rated player. Very skillful and technically gifted. That would be a real scoop if they pulled that one off. 21-year-old striker Bryson Obiker could be on his way from Wolves to Birmingham. He spent the second half of last season out on loan at Coventry, where he scored 6 goals in 18 appearances. The 21-year-old's only going to get better going into the future, as Birmingham are searching for that replacement for Che Adams. And it also looks as if Birmingham are in for French forward Jeremy Bella. Can either play as a striker or out wide. He scored 9 goals and got 1 assist in the Spanish second division last season. Brentford have reportedly submitted the £750k bid for Blackpool defender Mark Bowler. Luton Town were another side who were interested in the defender a few days ago. Brentford always know how to uncover a gem. The 21-year-old had a good season in League One last season, with Blackpool scoring 2 goals and picking up 2 assists. Would be a decent buy for them. After selling David Raya to Brentford, Blackburn are in need of a goalkeeper, and it could be Scott Carson coming in through the door. Although I don't think he had his particularly best season for Derby last season, I think that'll be another very shrewd signing for Blackburn. And Blackburn, you know, they've added quite a bit of experience into that squad so far, you know, with players like Stuart Downing, Bradley Johnson, and now perhaps Scott Carson as well. But I think they really are strengthening the core of that squad. A few more additions, and who knows what's capable for Blackburn next season. But if they did get that deal over the line, I'd be fairly impressed. I think that'd be a good purchase for them. And then perhaps going the other way into Derby could be Christian Walton. We've had that link going on for a while between Walton and Derby County. It's just a question of what price tag Brighton would be demanding for the 23-year-old. QPR are reportedly close to re-signing midfielder Jeff Cameron from Stoke City. The 34-year-old had a very good loan spell out there last season. I think that would make sense for both parties. Despite his injury troubles, Brandon Barker is wanted by Preston North End as a potential replacement for Callum Robinson. However, at this point in time, it's looking like City would rather sell the player opposed to loaning him out again, and the fee being talked about will be too high for Preston. So at this moment, it will probably be a bit of a waiting game between Preston and City. City's seeing if anyone else would pay their asking price before they'll no doubt come down in the next few weeks or so. Jarrod Bowen's name has come up in the conversation again, this time being linked to the Premier League and Newcastle United. Obviously, Steve Bruce and Bowen having that connection after they worked together at Hull City before. And I think he'll go on to do well at the Premier League. I think that this time in his career may be the right time to make that move as well. He's had 2 solid seasons in the Championship, getting into double figures, but Hull certainly wouldn't be willing to let him go on the cheap. Winger Callum Harriott's training with Charlton at the moment. Not really sure what I make of this player. A bit inconsistent over the past few years. Maybe Bowyer is the best man to get something out of him. Wigan getting the deal done for Portsmouth winger Jamal Lowe seems to be getting closer and closer. The fee being talked about around about £3 million, and Wigan really are showing their intent. Like I said already, with some of the players they purchased and with the players they've been linked to. Not afraid to splash the cash at the moment, and they have fended off quite a lot of Championship interest if they do manage to get this one over the line. And their attacking lineup is shaping up quite nicely at the moment. Just need to get another striker through the door. Frank Lampard's confirmed that Chelsea youngster Ethan Ampadu is available for a loan for this season, and there's definitely going to be a whole bunch of Championship clubs interested in the youngster. Very highly rated player. Already I've seen interest from clubs like Reading, Derby and Swansea City as well. I think he'd be an excellent capture for whoever gets him. And reportedly Derby have been in contact with Liverpool for perhaps getting Harry Wilson back on loan for next season. Now that would be an excellent bit of business if that was to be the case. I'm not sure how likely it is to happen. He had a very good year last time out, scored 17 goals in all competitions from midfield. There has already been Premier League interest for the winger, but it's clear that Harry Wilson likes it at the club there, and like I say, if they manage to pull that off, that'll be some capture. And then finally we're seeing Borjan Johnson, the 6'5" striker, being linked with a move to Nottingham Forest. He scored 25 goals in the Eredivisie over his past 2 seasons there. Can't say I know all too much about the player, but he'd definitely be a bit of a different option to what Forest already have at the club up front at the moment. But guys, there you have it. There are some of the latest transfer rumours currently going around the Championship, so if you've seen any others that we didn't mention in today's video, make sure to get them in the comments down below. And apart from that, that will now wrap it up for this video, guys. So if you think it was enjoyed, make sure to leave a like. It is always massively appreciated. As well as that, make sure you subscribe for some regular Championship content. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.